Hello, how are you? My name is Nicole Denise, creator of SheJustWrites.net, and you have tuned into another episode of She Just Writes TV, where we talk about the things that women writers care about. So today's topic of discussion is writing is the last thing on the list when it comes to actually being a writer. Now, I know I have said over and over again, and I've actually coached clients and helped people that want to be writers and told them that, if you want to be a writer, you have to write. But in all actuality, writing is one of the last things that writers have to deal with, because when we're called to do it and we're called to be writers, that is the part that comes easily to us. It's all the other garbage that gets us down. So today I wanted to talk about those things that every writer must be equipped with in order for her to pursue fully her dreams of being a writer. So I have my trusty phone right here because, of course, I'm a writer, so I had to write down notes, and we're going to get into this list right now. So the first one I say that every writer needs is proclamation. And what I mean by that is you have to openly tell the world, tell the universe, tell your circle, tell your whoever, your family, your friends, your colleagues, whoever you feel comfortable or enough telling that you want to be a writer. Now, I didn't make this proclamation until I had returned back to college to finish my degree in 2009, I think it was. Yeah, 2009. And I was actually the president of a literary organization called Lambda Iota Tau. And I was in one of our meetings, and as a senior, well, if you've been to a university, you always introduce yourself as, hey, my name is Nicole Stokes, graduating senior, and I look forward to doing A, B, C, D after I graduate. So this was the protocol for this particular meeting, and I got up and I said, after college, I look to be a freelance writer. This took me by surprise, because this is the first time that I had ever said anything like that aloud. I had always thought it, I had always wanted to be a freelance writer, but I had never verbally said it until that day, and it was kind of like it just bubbled up in me and it just kind of came out. Not to make a huge deal about it, but it was a big deal because that was completely against the formula that had been set before me. A person who was an English major was supposed to be a teacher, and I never wanted to be a teacher, but I was on the fast track to being a teacher because I didn't have any other options, or so I thought. So the first time that I made the proclamation, it was the first time that I actually thought about that being a real possibility for me being a freelance writer. And also that was the first day where I really started to go after figuring out what a freelance writer or freelance writing gig entailed. So the first thing is always proclamation. The second thing that every writer needs is gall. You have to have the audacity to call yourself a writer, because if I go back to my first example of proclamation, when I made that proclamation, I got a mixed review from the room. Some people were like, oh yeah, okay. Other people were kind of skeptical, like, what do you mean freelance writer? And then I also got pulled aside later on and was like, well, do you even have a plan for being a freelance writer? Like, so you get mixed reviews, but there is just something inside of me that says, I will write on my own terms, regardless of the naysayers or the fears of other people that they try to inflict or impose onto me. So it was my job and my duty after that proclamation to have enough gall and enough audacity to say, hey, I'm going to do this. And even if I don't know what this really entails, I'm going to figure out how to do it. And then I look years later and I'm actually being a freelance writer. I write for clients, I publish works, and I'm actually living the dream that I proclaimed would be mine years ago. So the third thing that every writer needs beyond her writing is a platform. And this is not in the branding sense of you need a logo and you need a brand and you need a this and you need a that. But no, I started blogging because that was something else I learned how to do while I was in college for a specific professor. She made us turn our work in on a blog that we created. So I started my own personal blog, Real Talk with Nikki D, as a way to get my proclamation of I'm going to be a freelance writer out into the public, because I could no longer hide what was burning inside of me as a passion and as a dream and a desire of mine. So I just started blogging. I look on those writings nowadays and I literally cringe when I look at what I wrote and what I was saying. But at that moment and at that time, it was so necessary for me to establish a platform for me to get my voice out publicly so that I could officially look at something myself and say, hey, I am really doing this writing thing. I am really serious about being a freelance writer. So you have to figure out what platform you want to publicly announce and keep the momentum going for your proclamation as a writer. And lastly, a writer needs resilience. Okay, I'm just going to get down to the nitty gritty. I'm going to tell you like it is. This is the opening line in my book, Write, and it is, writing sucks. And it literally does. Like, writing, like any other creative pursuits, has its downfalls, and most of the time it's just like, I dread coming to a blank page or looking at a cursor blinking at me on my computer, because it's like taunting and saying, now you have to fill me up with something brilliant, especially if you just finished reading something that was brilliant. And it's just like, what am I doing? I am back at square one. But at the same time, I love the pursuit of writing. So you have to have the resilience to keep going, keep focused, and keep plugging after this dream that you have to be a writer in order to pursue the field professionally, or just to fulfill whatever the dream is that you want to have as a writer. And also with that resilience, don't forget to couple that with forgiveness and recommitment, because you are going to fall off the wagon. If there's a writer out there in the universe who knows how to just keep plugging away and not hate writing at some point in time, please go ahead and leave a comment below this video, because I know that you'll fall off the wagon, but it will be that burning desire and that resilience and that recommitment and that forgiveness of yourself, as well as the issues around you, that will keep you going and keep you focused on the project at hand. So ladies, I hope that has helped you today. Again, this was another installment of She Just Writes TV. Is there anything that you would like me to talk about? Go ahead and leave your comments in the comment section below, and I'll definitely do a video response or something of that nature where I could teach you guys on She Just Writes TV about the things that really are important to you. So until next time, have an awesome day. Bye.